learning is happening. So itu adalah kita punya main objective, supported by all other bahagian and so on and so forth, right? Okay, your first question, what is blended, what is flipped classroom, and so on and so forth. Okay, a bit of history, if you don't mind. Yeah, konsep blended learning ni bermula actually semasa Perang Dingin. Siapa tengok Oppenheimer? You've seen Oppenheimer, a very popular movie. There is a time when the atomic bomb was done. So after that, when Hiroshima fell, the Cold War started. The Cold War started was the race between the United States and Russia. So that's where the Cold War started. During that time, the digitization process was well addressed, yeah, because they saw that computers were the things that could help their armament to be much greater than their enemies, right? So with that, along the line, of course, everything has to start with the military. Along the line, it came on to teaching and learning. Yeah. So keluarlah term CBT, computer-based training, CBI, computer-based instruction, and so on and so forth. So mulalah berwujudnya blended learning. Ya. Kalau dulu we just talk and talk, right? But when computer-based training came in, computer-based instruction came in, the concept of blended learning has begun. So blended learning means whatever formal teaching that combines from teaching face-to-face and online or using education technology. So whenever there's a combination, then we call it a blended learning. And that's the best approach. Because sometimes we find that too much of one side, either online or face-to-face, can be rather boring and not effective, right? So a good example is COVID. We were forced into total online, right? So it's never believed that total online was the solution. We always say that blended learning is the solution, but no choice. Tak boleh jumpa and so on. We had to go into online. So adalah repercussion there, especially in Tibet, right? When we cannot do things online 100%. So blended learning is a mixture, right? So what is flipped classroom? It's part of blended learning. It was introduced by a professor in Harvard by the name of Eric Mazur. I don't know how I pronounce his name correctly or not. Eric Mazur, Harvard University, who teaches physics. So he taught physics, and then he found out that he was not improving. His students were not enthusiastic atau berasa betul-betul enthusiastic untuk belajar. So apa yang dia buat adalah dia flip kelas dia. So dia masa tu mengajar di dalam lecture hall. Ya, lecture hall. Kita pernah berada di lecture hall kan? Satu pensyarah, beratus orang di belakang. Ni mengajar physics ni ya. So what he did was he flipped the class, right? Dia buat homework di dalam kelas, teori dia buat di luar. Teori dia student boleh upload dan belajar sendiri, tengok video or so on and so forth. Dan whatever activities untuk dibuat di dalam kelas atau buat di dalam lecture theatre tadi. And the students find it exhilarating. The students find it interesting, yeah, to solve problems in classroom with him being there. Because his knowledge is very, very much being needed to solve homework problems. So this is something new, where homework, kataan pun homework, ya, homework bermaksud dibuat di rumah, tapi dibawa ke dalam waktu sekolah, waktu kuliah. So homework itu berubah konsep dan maka berwujudlah flip classroom, ya, di mana kelas yang biasa tu diterbalikkan, ya. So Eric Mazur ni telah menulis satu paper, kalau you all sempat baca dalam internet, Google up Twilight of the lecture. Twilight ni maksudnya senja lah, ya. Lecture ni dah sampai ke tahap-tahap senja dah. Orang tak suka dah lecture, 100% lecture dulu tak suka dah. It's twilight already. It's about to end dia punya phase. So everything now is going blended, is going flipped classroom, and so on. So daripada situlah flipped classroom gain dia punya momentum, and that as we know that today a lot of other institutions dah using flipped classroom, using blended, then many more orang kata techniques of introducing technology into blended classrooms, yeah, to make the classrooms more interesting, yeah. So again, I like to emphasize, do not emphasize on the technology, neither do you emphasize on the face-to-face. It's the combination that is the trick. Yeah, the combination is the trick that sparks the students' interest to learn. Right. So itulah dia basically the history of blended learning.
Okay, so uh, do you have like, can you share some of the, maybe just because of our apa tu masa pun tak banyak kan, maybe ada untuk pensyarah luar sana yang nak mulakan flipped classroom ni, do you have any advice for them, like what is the, how to start?
Okay.
um
All right. Start with what you know, right? In terms of technology, start with what you know. It can be even your WhatsApp. You can use your WhatsApp as a technology base to submit questions and thoughtful essays, or give links to YouTubes and so on. So many things you can do with this handphone, right? So start with that. But more importantly is, you tahu apa yang objektif you dalam classroom, right? What is it that you want to achieve? Because this is just a tool. Ingat technology is just the tool. Never forget the human punya capacity of learning and of being curious. Human mind ni curious. Human mind ni can be easily inspired. Human mind ni can be easily motivated. Jadi you sebagai pensyarah perlu tahulah bagaimana you nak spark those interests. Bagaimana you nak spark those motivation. Dengan menggunakan pakai bahan teknologi dan dengan menggunakan pakai bahan-bahan face to face. So bila you tahu, then bolehlah you plankan satu classroom session atau satu strategi di mana student will experience technology and student will experience face to face, and then together it comes together, becomes an explosive experience for the students, right?
Having said that, usually people will talk about challenges. What is a challenge for nak melaksanakan blended learning flipped classroom ni?
Okay. It's easy to teach without any technology. All right. It's easy to teach. Just go into classroom, open up your whiteboard, and you talk to your classroom, or you talk to whiteboard. That's even worse still. You don't face the student. You just walk and talk at the blackboard and whiteboard, and when the time is up, you've done your part. So easy to do that, right? But you are dealing with a different breed of students. Itu dia masalah dia. Your students are changing. 10 years ago, maybe your application boleh survive if you do that, but not now. Your students are changing. Students are being more bored in class. Standard 1, standard 2, standard 3 students are so tablet frenzy, kan? That by the time they come into polytechnics or into universities, they miss that, flipping and so on, stuff that's going on with technology. So how do you talk and how do you relate to them? Now, that being said, I'm not saying that it's a good thing for students to be 100% given the freedom to be online, but there must be a discipline for the students to practice both the technology and the online punya balance, right? The challenges is you as a lecturer, what is the thing that you want to do most? You have to understand yourself. That's the main challenge, right? What is it that you want to achieve? I want to achieve this. I want to achieve this. This might be too high or too big a level. Choose a level that is very appropriate for you and your environment. Start there first. Do not be over ambitious, because once you fall, you will not go up again, right? So start small, see your environment, see how the students take in that kind of activity. Sometimes even if they like it, they will suggest, buat lagi lah cikgu, kita suka benda-benda macam tu. Then you are motivated. Keep yourself motivated, try new things, do not overthink it and so on. So we are easily being put down by the environment, by what happens in the classroom, the teachers, the internet, and so on and so forth. But that is not the thing that should you think about, because those are the things that will always be there. Those are the things that will always be there. But what is the difference that you can make is you. how you overcome it. That's why you are there as a human being and not just any AI teaching the students. If not, the time will come, I suppose, when AIs will be taking over your role. I hope not, yeah. But this is to prove that you are better than an AI lecturer because you can think further than the AI, right? So think about it. Be a human being. Be excited about teaching and learning. You cannot be excited about teaching and learning. You cannot be excited about your topic. If you are not excited about your topic, your students will not feel the excitement. Right? It's like watching a movie. If the film is not excited, it's not exciting enough, alah, ngantuk dan sebagainya. So the director of that film and you, the lecturer, on the same page. You know how to know your audience. You have to be excited to tell your story. This is how I'm going to tell it. This is how I'm going to twist the story. This is how I'm going to use my camera movement, and so on and so forth, to make sure that the story and the message of the topic is being given out effectively. So you are a film director. That is the thing I have to say. Yeah.
All right. So now it's just say that all the lecturers are all macam excited lah kan, kita nak buat this new thing for students. But
it's not a new thing.
It's not.
It's not. It's Flipped Classroom has been around since 2000. It's not a new thing.
Right,
yeah.
right.
In a sense, it's new to new lecturers.
New lecturers.
Okay. Yeah. So it's been there for some time.
Okay. And how about the role of institutions, do you think? How can they support lecturers?
Yeah.
Okay.
How does institutions support lecturers, right? Let's take the instance of Eric Mazur, Harvard University, right? He came in, he saw he wanted to change stuff. At that time, Harvard didn't understand Flipped Classroom or didn't understand the concept of CBT and so on and so forth. But what he did was revolutionary. He just provided homework to be done during classroom. That's all. And to go back home and do your reading there and then before you come to the class. That's all. So there's actually nothing much if you think about it, right? There's not much technology involved. Now lagi banyak lah. With the handphone, you can do so much now, right? And this is in everybody's hands these days. Data can be used, effectively from from TikTok to anything else. Benda tu all can be used as part and parcel of your teaching arsenal. So why not use this yang ada, yang free, yang everybody is using effectively? Once in a while, you get the chance, you want to do a beautiful video, go for it, right? But that is not the thing that must be on your mind. Oh, nak buat ni, I kena buat satu video yang cantik, drama lah, apalah tu. No, right? You look at today's TikTok, how many seconds are it TikTok? 3 minutes ke apa ke? And look at the way the thing is going. Everything, anyone can do that. It's a very simple, but it's effective. It sends out the message very clearly. And then don't forget the other element, blended, right? Nothing is left online. You meet on the next day, you talk about that video. What do you think? Did you make laugh? I tried to do this, I tried to do that. Get them to give you feedback. So those are the things that you can do. So I'm sure that the institutions do not have to provide much, right? But of course, alhamdulillah, at least internet ada, you got have special classrooms a bit, macam TECC and so on, so that those kind of activities boleh dibuat secara collaborative, right? But you don't have to wait for TECCs to be provided. You can change your own classrooms, organize 2 classrooms to 1, make it a bit bigger for collaborative examples to be exercises to be carried out. Jalan. What I'm saying is work within your means. Yeah. You can be creative there. That's where creativity is.
Right.
If everything is given, where's the creativity, right? You are given something limited, then if you exceed using what is limited, that's the innovation, that's the creativity, right? You can do it. I think we are all born with certain inherent creativeness and innovativeness that I think kita semua boleh apply, especially sebagai tenaga pengajar.
Okay, and I think when you have this blended learning and flipped classroom, actually, how do you assess the impact of blended learning and flipped classroom model on student learning outcomes?
Okay. First of all, you have to look at the student learning outcome. For example, TECC classes, right, yang ada di Polytechnics, mainly in Polytechnics lah. TEC classrooms kita kata specifically used for apa tadi? Apa outcomes? Lupa dah. Learning outcomes, used for learning outcomes that are C3 and above. That means application and so on. Ada lupa dia punya tu. Synthesis, analysis, used for those kind of outcomes. Then it is more appropriate. For C1 and C2, you know and understand, you can use your normal classrooms. Because those are just, you understand, you understand, you're just feeding the students. But in TECC, the objectives is different. You are assessing on how the students think, and how the students react, and how the students put ideas together, and how the students come up with a presentation and talk about it, and then how they laugh about it, how they feel sad. Why do you think they fail? Failure is an important issue that is not being addressed in classrooms. The students fail. Okay, now why do you fail? What have you learned from your failure? So that not only you can improve yourself, but orang lain pun boleh improve yourself. Celebrate failure. Do not punish failure. Alright. So these are the new steps yang boleh you guna pakai dalam you punya classroom teaching. Okay. Important thing is that dalam blended learning, you are in this environment where you got one leg in the actual world and the other leg is in the online virtual world. You got to find the balance. Ini yang lecturer susah nak cari balance ni. Dia tak tahu mana nak so kalau saya buat ni kata lebih ni kata lebih, macam mana nak combine together and create a powerful positive combination. That is the trick, that is the creativity, that is the innovation. So those are the things yang you can always look in Google. There's so many classic examples that that might work for them. Of course, it might not work for your class, but we being humans, we take this a bit, we take here a bit, kita take a bit, then kita combine, try out, right? And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, don't do that. Or maybe you can improve it on some other time.
Right.
So actually, it's very simple to be on that path towards using technology into. Well, one thing I would like to add. Why? The question is, maybe you have not asked me, why use technology? Yeah? Well, of course, the world is changing, you have to use technology. But we are always saying that we want to produce students who are SCL, student-centered learning, students. Kita kata, kita nak student ni lebih student-centered, lebih dia boleh mengawal atau boleh mengurus masa dia sendiri, boleh disiplin masa dia. Technology with blended learning can instill those kind of values. Yeah? Kalau student dia tidak disiplin, dia tidak pandai guna masa dia, masa online dan masa classroom, dan dia gagal sebagai SCL. Ya? Kalau dia gagal sebagai SCL, that is the main objective sebenarnya. Of course, you boleh capai the content and so on tu boleh capai. But behind that is whether the SCL is being addressed or not. That is the main thing. That is the thing that everybody is talking about, but nobody is saying. That is the big elephant in the room, right? If the student is SCL oriented, then lifelong learning is no problem. Dia boleh carry on teaching because dia dah very conversed in how to discipline himself or herself, and then boleh take on new knowledges and change and this and that. So kadang-kadang we as lecturers, we don't see that big thing behind the objectives. We only see results. Dia dapat banyak mana markah, dia boleh jawab ke apa. Tapi di sebaliknya is this feeder yang very important dalam where technology can help, which is to discipline the student.
To develop
to mold them.
Behavior ke personality ke kan? Where they take responsibility for themselves, belajar tu. So bagilah apa-apa pun. Once they have that, dia boleh dia jadi seorang yang,
because we always say we want to produce, it's in our books, it's in our curriculum. Kita kata kita nak buat. Tapi how do we address it? How do we really come out? It's not in the outcomes per se, but it's embedded there somewhere. And with technology, you can do it. You can bring out worlds out there into the classroom and talk about it and ask interesting questions.
Go around the world macam tadi Pemarina bawa kita around the world. Cari masjid yang tercantik mana-mana kan.
So you have to, it can be creative. You have to take that leap using that technology. Okay.
Okay, so I think, one last question. As we look into the future of education, how do you see the role of blended learning and flipped classroom evolving? And what trends should educators be aware of?
This question is very much related to how technology is evolving. Yeah? At one time, blended learning was very much VHS. I tak tahu orang ingat lagi tak VHS ke? So, my time lah, Betamax, VHS, tape, masuk tape keluar itu, and so on. Or slides. Slides, betul-betul slide in the carousel. No, at that time, that was it. But now we are going so far ahead that we are into the virtual punya technologies, the augmented reality, extreme augmented, so on, all the virtual realities and sebagainya. So blended have got to embrace that as part of their online experience, right? And AI is going to kick in. Kat tempat lain mungkin dia dah kick in, kat kita ni belum lagi. So AI is going to come into education. Personalized tutor is going to be a reality soon, probably. Everybody is going to have a wiki robot that is assigned to him or her, who reminds you, oh, you have not done this, you're not done this. Is there any problem? You can go here, you can go there and find out more. It will come. That time, the thing will come, right? Dia akan ease juga burden lecturers, but again, mula-mula tu akan susah lah. Lecturer juga kena jaga classroom, dia kena jaga wiki robot tu tadi yang nak bantu. Those kind of things yang akan be the challenges. But the frontier of learning and teaching is going to change, right? If we are willing to open our doors to it lah. If not, we can always close it up and have a normal, have your usual traditional chalk and talk. And then when students go out, that's it. I mean, kita habis kat sini je, luar tu your problem lah, kan? That's the challenge and choice we have to make. But I'm sure you're not going to go that far, right? So these new technologies will change the way we teach, especially for TVET. We kata TVET. Apa nak bezakan TVET dengan non-TVET is the involvement of industry dengan students. Bringing industry as early as possible into the classroom, even at the early stage. So you can go and bidang apa? Okay, you can go and do a recording, interview or whatever, and bring those things into the classroom and discuss them. So that is where the technology is. That's where the virtual reality, the augmented reality can do for TVET students. Besides just simulation, that's the second part. Simulating them, pegang ni, buka komputer ni. Bukan nak katakan kita tak nak langsung hands on. That doesn't work. This is blended, okay? This is not fully online. Even pilots need time for simulation. I don't know how many hours, but then they still value that simulation. Of course, the simulation is very well designed. So we also need a TVET. We also need the form of simulation. So there are two things: simulation and immersiveness.
Right.
For TVET especially, that differs from other kinds of educational experiences, right? So use them appropriately for technological courses, so that students are more well prepared before they go out into the industry world, right? Even the English classes can use that. So they're killing two birds with one stone. You can have your English session, and you can have your industrial experience, thinking outwardness already into the classrooms there. So many things that can happen within that 1 hour of class that you are. Still 1 hour now? Classroom name still 1 hour?
Just English, yeah.
Just English. Okay, so those are the things that you boleh you can explore lah, in the new technologies that's coming out. Very interesting, very challenging, but also frightening because of AI, what AI can do, and what how we should defend ourselves with technology. So maybe this is something also we have got to address our graduates before they leave. Is the technology is developing so fast that it can bring the same amount of good and evil to the society, to them, as future citizens. So what is our role as educators? What is our role as institution? How do we prepare our students to navigate into this world where this is not good, this is good, this is, if you go down this path, you can lead to this, do not let this thing come into and affect you, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So many things that we need to consideration, and I think with with the continuous use of technology from semester 1 until semester 6, the students will get a feeling of it, right? This we can use this for this, we can't use for this, or I fail because of this, because lecturers say, that experience helps them to develop themselves of being entrusted into a new world of digitalization.
Right. And I also think like with what you've just said just now, there's a continuation, collaboration, integration between between the lecturers, between the technology is so important now. I mean, the communication is so important between everybody
Yeah.
in order to make this work, yeah?
Why is that? You must understand technology. Simple language, 0 and 1. Very simple, 0 and 1.
Yeah.
But that 0 and 1 is all across the board. In all disciplines, in all walks of life, everybody is using data technology. So it by its own nature is breaking boundaries. Understand? Everybody's using it. I can make this video, I can send it there. It by own nature is breaking. Jadi technology is borderless, but we are full of borders.
Yeah.
I can't work with you because of some policy or some social whatever or some what I can't work with you because we have not been told to work together.
All right.
I can work with the students. Is my limit here. This is your limit there. We are so full of boundaries. So when the user is full of boundaries and yet the technology is borderless, then there's that clash. Yeah, there's that clash. So we have to open up a bit so that we can use the technology effectively. Yeah? And we have to understand what borderless means in a negative sense as well. So it's something that is very useful, can be out of hand if we misuse it, but then that's knowledge, kan? Any knowledge for that sake, ada pro dan ada dia punya con side. You as the educator, you've got to make sure that your students come out on this side rather than choose the dark side.
Yeah,
Dia pun nak tu.
Okay, I think we're coming to the end of our session. Do you have any last words, last few advices or last advice to those watching this
Okay.
session?
My advice is very, very simple. Be passionate about your work. Yeah? Because if you feel zero, you feel that you don't have any enthusiasm, to any new level to reach, then you may find it difficult not just to use technology, but to be a great educator. Right? So it all begins here. It all begins here, right? The world around you can be crumbling. The world around you can be crumbling. But you sebagai pendidik, apa yang dalam sini? Do I want to make, at least I try to make my world better, myself better. This small step of what I can do, I'll do first. And then I start there, and I start there. And then slowly you will build and you will control the environment that is within you. And you'll be happy wherever you are.
All right.
All right?
Okay. So with those words, on behalf of BIPD and everybody out there, all the everybody watching, we would like to say thank you very much, Dr. Nana, for coming and sharing your such valuable insights and knowledge into this whole topic of blended learning and flipped classroom. I mean, we are always continuously learning, kan? I mean, the knowledge doesn't stop there. Kita kena sentiasa mengikut arus keadaan. So thank you again. We hope you can join us again in future webinars. Okay. So with that, everybody, this is the wrap up for our webinar for this flipped classroom for 2023. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again next year. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.